Greetings to everybody. This is Charles Richard, and I'd like to welcome you all once again. I have not done any videos for a while, so I am going to attempt to try to do this video. As you guys know, this particular video, we're going to be talking about my experience, okay, with the Fujifilm X-T20. Now, I don't like to do reviews with very little experience with the particular product, okay, or camera or whatever, or microphone or whatever it is that I'm reviewing. Now, this is not really a review because, if you want to see a review, there's plenty of reviews out here on the internet, and on YouTube, all over the place, where you guys can actually get a more feel for it. But I am coming from a different perspective. I want to come from a perspective of my personal experience. This here is the Fujifilm, okay, the X-T20, all right, that I'm talking about, and it's very small, it's very compact. It has it's not a rangefinder. It is not the top of the line Fujifilm cameras, all right. It is sort of a scaled down version of the X-T2. But here's the things that I like about it. First of all, for somebody that is starting, I think that the prices, of the X-T20, just like the X-T30, is much more comfortable on the pocket for somebody that doesn't have the finances and wants to actually start to get into photography or into videography or into YouTube or these sort of things, right? Well, I didn't buy the X-T20 for that reason, okay. The reason that I bought the X-T20 is I want to give you several reasons why I bought the X-T20. The Trans 3 sensor, all right, the Trans 3 sensor, in my opinion, all right, and I'm talking about my opinion, the quality of the pictures that I like, the colors that I like, what I get out of the sensor, I prefer it more than the X4 Trans sensor. Why? I think the colors are a little bit nicer. I think it's much better in my opinion. I'm going to show you some of these photos, in a couple of seconds, and the other thing that really drew me more is if I take the lens off of this camera, right, and I have a grip on it also, and I take the grip off, the X-T20, just like the X-T30, because they are identical in body, all right. The only difference is the insides, all right. As far as the body wise, they're exactly identical. But if I took the X-T20 or the X-T30, the body alone is smaller. In reality, is smaller than the X100V, and so for that, alone, it didn't really make a huge, impact on my ability to choose the X-T20 over the X100V, but it gave me enough to say, well, look at this, okay, it's the same size, right? So for me, take a look at a couple of things, and I want to point out certain things that made it the better decision, all right, for me, as far as purchasing the camera. For me, the price of this camera, all right. Now, you can find these cameras. I got a great deal on this camera, all right, but these cameras right now, you can find these cameras for under $500. The average is about $400, $450, okay. This camera, it was in impeccable condition, all right. I mean, like brand new, okay, and I bought it for $450. Now, if you think about this, right, the X100V is running $1,500. All right, that's $1,500. All right, US dollars. All right, and so when you look at, you know, those price gaps, right? And you look at, you know, making decisions as to what really, okay, should determine, or, you know, as far as spending your money, where should you really spend your money? I think that, you know, your money should be spent more on lenses than on the body itself, because the lens is really going to make a much more impact and much more difference on your flexibility of your tool that you have with you, right? And so, and this particular system that I have, which is my street photography, and I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, I love it. The pictures that you're going to see, the photos that you're going to see, are actually with this body using this particular lens. All right, the lens that I chose for this model, all right, is the XC15 to 45 millimeter lens. Now, I'm not going to talk about that lens because that lens is so underrated, all right, and I'm going to leave that for a different video. But when you pair these two together, the lens, because it's plastic, you know, and it's light, it doesn't make it top heavy. So when you're out shooting, your camera is not doing this top heavy, and what that does for optical image stabilization, it gives you a much more stable, the ability to stabilize your camera better, and to be able to take a better shot, you know, number one. Number two, it's smaller, okay, it's lighter, so you're not gonna, you know, get tired about, you know, carrying this thing around with you. The trans 3 sensor for video is better, and because I do more video than photography, I find it a lot better, much more, you know, the colors are nicer. I can get much more robust colors out of it, and I do a lot of custom film simulations, right? And when you do a lot of custom film simulations, you are dealing with the altering of colors within inside the camera. You're not doing this in post-production, and I don't do post-production. I try not to do. I can, okay, you know, I got DaVinci Resolve, you know, I got Lightroom, you know, I got Capture One, you know, but the object, okay, the main object for me is to do everything within inside the camera. I shot it, the colors are right, okay, I can just download it, post it, and it's done. But the XT20, all right, has a lot of benefits, all right. The XT20, number one, the benefits from the XT20, all right, is number one, the sensor, okay, number two, it is small, okay, number three, it uses the batteries that is very infamous, okay, for everybody says, oh yeah, but they don't last very much, you know, the W126S, you know, but I got several batteries, but the whole package is really small and really comfortable, and really, you know, makes you want to go out and shoot. So it is a very small package. Now, yes, I love my XT2, okay, my XT2 is wonderful. I think that the XT2 is my favorite camera to do production, even more so than the XT4 and the XT3. But, you know, but for street photography, I love this. I love this. Now, what did I add to this? Well, I added, you see this, I added a grip, all right, and this grip makes the camera much more manageable. I added a on this particular lens, right, I added a specific hood, because the lens doesn't come with a hood, and you cannot put any hood on it because it is a wide angle, all right. And so if you go to the widest setting on the lens, you know, and you don't have the proper hood, it's going to create vignetting. So my setup is very small, very light, very manageable, you know. And another thing that I like about, personally, about this XT20 is sometimes, you know, I go, for example, I might go into a park or into a tourist attraction area, right? And I want to, you know, to have a picture of myself, but I can't really take a picture of me, so I ask somebody to take a picture of me. Well, this camera, all right, has a setting that is kind of like sort of like stupid proof, if you want to call it, you know, which is right here. The only thing you do is you switch this little level right here, this little lever. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you switch it to auto right there. I switch it to auto. All right, and the camera does everything for you. All right, so a child can just look, okay, at the picture, you know, at the composition, at whatever he's shooting. You know, if he's going to take a picture of me, he can just look at me and, you know, take the picture, and the picture's going to come out right. All right, he doesn't have to mess with any settings. He doesn't have to mess with ISO. He doesn't have to mess with shutter speeds. He doesn't have to mess with aperture settings, you know. So it's nice. All right, it's nice to be able to have that feature, right, that allows you to be able to share your camera, and, you know, it makes it more flexible, you know, to be able to do more things. Now, all right, so anyways, I've talked a whole lot right now. All right, so let's take a look at some of these pictures that this camera, all right, has actually been able to do for me. I'm going to show you different film simulations so you can see some of the film simulations that are already built into the camera, and I'm going to show you some film simulations that are in Fuji X Weekly that anybody can grab from their sites, and I'm going to show you some of my custom film simulations with this camera, and I'm also going to show you some video. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. Great. So now let's talk about pimping out my camera. This is my camera, okay? This is my Fujifilm camera. So let's start with the thing that most everybody does is we do what we call a soft shutter. Now, there is what we call a concave, right, and a convex shutter availability. You know, they're not very expensive. They're only like $6. Okay, the one that I have is in color red, and it is metal. All right, it is metal. I have had no issues with it. Some people have issues with it falling off and being removed. I have tightened it. And this particular company, when they send you the soft shutter buttons, okay, it brings a sort of like a very fine rubber washer, right, which also helps sort of put it in place and lock it in place so it doesn't fall off and it doesn't accidentally unscrew itself and gets removed, or you lose it, right? Okay, so I haven't had no issues at all. It is a metal soft shutter release button. All right, so the other thing that I did, which for me was a first for me, because I usually use, you know, very traditional straps, right, is actually buy this custom. It is a let me see if I can show you here. Can we see it here? Yeah, okay, it is a rope. Okay, it is a rope. It is a very high-end nylon and pure leather. Okay, this is pure leather strap. It's you can see it's very nice and long, very comfortable. This here cost me $60. The company is a new company. The quality is very, very high end. It is Italian made. You know, I shouldn't say Italian made, because that doesn't sound right because it's actually made in Miami. All right, but it is Italian leather. It's an Italian look. You know, it cost me $60. All right, it's not cheap. It is, but it is so well made. Okay, and so comfortable that I thought I had to really mention it to you folks. Now, because this camera, you know, is you know, it doesn't have a really, you know, nice grip. You know, it doesn't, it's not that it doesn't have a nice grip, it's just that it is lacking and it could use an improvement on that. I added a grip. Now notice that this grip has kind of like two grooves. Okay, I like this. All right, this is made by a Fotasay, that's F-O-T-A-S-Y, and it is the X-T30. Remember that the X-T30 and the X-T20 are identical bodies. Okay, this particular grip is made for the X-T20 and the X-T30. All right, so and what's nice about it, it is also let me see if I can point some of the features. You can see it here. All right, see it there? It is Arca Swiss, so which means that if you have your tripod and it is an Arca Swiss mount, you don't need an Arca Swiss plate on here. You can just, you know, mount it right on your tripod and you're good to go. So it's Arca Swiss, and on the bottom, all right, you can see that it has very easily, all right, you can get access to your doors in the on the bottom. All right, and one of the things that is a deficiency on the X-T20 and the X-T30s is that the mounting screw on the bottom is really close to the lens. It's not centered. All right, and so what this does is when you put the grip on, you can see here how close it is to the back, right? When you put the grip on, it moves, it realigns your center. So now, okay, if you want to add anything else, you still have the ability to add anything else, but it's centered, and it is centered also to the lens, okay, right there. So it's got more, it's better centered. Okay, so it corrects that issue. All right, and so that is a plus on that. The grip is all metal made. It is in black, you know, and so it's wonderful. All right, and so that is as far as the camera is concerned. Now, what do I take with this camera? Well, I take, okay, only three things. All right, I want to say three things that are for me that are very much a necessity. Okay, I have always one battery in here. I have one SD card, you know, and I have a spare SD card just in case I need it. I have never had an issue with it. I do carry 2 extra batteries. All right, so my total is 3 batteries. I've never had an issue where I've gone more than 2 batteries. In other words, when I do a whole photo shoot, or when I do a video, go out shooting video, you know, I might run through a first battery, and I might run maybe 25% of my second battery, and that's it. All right, so I haven't had an issue where I've actually used all 3 batteries at all. All right, so with that said, you know, the experience that I've had is wonderful. It's really wonderful. Okay, when it comes to this, you know, and so it's great. All right, so the 3 batteries, you know, that I use is imperative. And there's 2 things that I use. I want to show you these things. I set my camera on the side. My audio on this camera, just like any other camera, the audio is not good, okay, on any camera. And so anytime that I do any sort of video, there's a lot of, you know, controversy on, you know, into this topic. And I can only give you my expertise, and I do know a lot about video. I own recording studios, okay, you know, and so I am going to give you my quick take, and, you know, take it with a grain of salt. All right, some cameras, like the higher end cameras, give you better preamps. But even with those preamps, anybody that does anything with video knows that the audio should be recorded completely separate. All right, completely separate, not even in the camera. But because of the workflow and because of the ease of the of the ability to work more quicker, right? Most people just record the audio into the camera. Excuse me. So what do? Well, they add a microphone. All right, you can add either a microphone like this one, right? Okay, which I'm using right now, okay, to record this. Or you can add a wireless microphone, all right, which I've done also, and I have some videos using wireless microphones. Or I add a digital not wireless, a digital audio recorder. My choice is a digital audio recorder, and the thing that I always carry with this camera is my Roland, okay, that you can see here. All right, let me see if I can. Probably there. Okay, the Roland digital audio recorder. Now, why do I choose this digital audio recorder? Well, these cameras, the X-T4 doesn't have the sophisticated capability of being able to adjust your levels in your audio, all right, like that of the X-T2, the X-T3, or the X-T4. All right, the X-T2, for example, just like the higher end cameras, it has increments. Your audio increments will go from 0 to 10 or from 0 to 15, right, depending on which camera we're talking about. The X-T4 can only go from 0 to 4. All right, so in increments of a quarter, you're actually increasing the your volume levels. Okay, so if you're at 1, you're at 25% of your audio increment, right, that is available for your control, right? If you're at number 2, all right, you are at 50%. Number 3, you're at 75%, and number 4, you're at 100%. So because I need more controllability, right, when it comes to that end, right, these, okay, the microphones that go on top of the cameras, you have no control, all right, of your audio levels, all right. And with your wireless microphones, some of them only give you increments of 3, some of them give you a little bit more, but not much. This gives you 100 increments, all right, from 0 to 100, so I can fine tune to where my audio level is more precise. Plus the fact that it has limiters, plus the fact that it has redundancy, which is something that is very important. Okay, redundancy. So like if your audio is not good, all right, in your camera, you still have a backup because you've actually recorded your audio on an SD card. Now, the proper thing, okay, to use is the audio from the SD card, and then you sync it in post. But remember, I don't like to do post work, all right? So because I don't like to do post work, I don't do that. I just take the audio from here, all right, and the audio from here. Once I adjust it with the limiters, with the gains, with everything, it's good enough. All right, it's good enough for YouTube. I'm not doing film with these cameras. I'm doing YouTube stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is the other thing that I carry. And the final thing that I carry, let me open my my bag up here, is I have a little case, all right, in which let me see if I can open it here, in which I have my filters, all right. And the 2 filters that I carry besides the UV filter, all right, is a ProMaster, okay, a ProMaster ND filter, all right, and it's worked beautifully, okay. And I have a also, let me look, come on, is it stuck in here? No, here it is. Okay, I gotta clean it. All right, it's yucky. It's a polarizer filter. Okay, this is a polarizer filter that I use, and that's it. Okay, that's all that I need. Okay, besides the cable to hook up my my digital audio, which is 3.5 to 2.5 on this camera. That's it. That's all I need, you know. And so my what I carry, okay, with me, okay, for my production work is minimal, okay. It's very minimal, all right. And so I don't feel like it's heavy, and I have a bag, okay, a very small bag. Now my bag is a lot smaller than previously, which I can carry a drink on the bag, and I carry my camera, all right, carry my bag, I'm sorry, my batteries, my filters, and this, and I'm done. I'm absolutely 100% done. So this is how I pimped out my camera, okay, and this is how I use this particular camera. See, photography, just like videography, and the camera that you choose, right, should make you happy. It should make you have a joyful experience, not an experience that you know, it's devastating, you know, because you can't seem to get the colors right, or because you know, the camera isn't recording right, or because the camera is overheating, you know. No, you want to have a wonderful experience, to be able to enjoy photography, enjoy cinematography, enjoy videography. The enjoyment, okay, should always come first in how you use your cameras, you know. And when I look at this particular camera, you know, although I have much more expensive cameras, you know, it just makes me want to pick the camera up more. This camera is the one that I like to pick because it's so comfortable, so nice to use, so wonderful, you know. It makes me want to go out and shoot, and that is something that you know, only you, because everybody is different, everybody has different likes, you know. Your tool that you use, your camera that you use, should be, you know, part of you. It should be an extension of you. It should be something that makes you have a wonderful day, a wonderful experience, a wonderful shooting experience, you know. And so that's what really makes the difference between whether or not you know, you choose something that's worth $10,000 or something that's worth $1,000. You know, I'm not about whether I spend 10,000 or whether I spend $1,000. I'm about me. I'm about being happy with the tool that I have. And this particular camera, this Fujifilm X-T20, okay, for me fills all these check marks, and this is why I choose and why I chose the X-T20 as my favorite street photography camera. So yes, this Fujifilm X-T20 fills all of these check marks for me. I love my X-T20. I do very highly recommend it. I think that once you get it in your hands, once you give it a try, you will find out, okay, that it is very enjoyable. So anyways, you know, I want to thank you, okay, for watching this video. You know, if you have not subscribed to our channel, and you want to see more of my crazy reviews, because they're not reviews, they're really, you know, talking to you about, you know, certain you know, cameras and certain gear, you know, go ahead and subscribe. But for 2022, okay, right now in March of 2022, I do highly recommend this X-T20. So anyways, I hope you have enjoyed it. You know, again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. That helps me. You know, I never monetize my channels, all right, but it's nice to be able to know that there's people out there that like to hear and to see the things that I do, and comment. You know, I want to hear your comments. You know, I like to interact. You know, social media is so that we can become social, so that we can talk to each other. You know, that's what social media is designed for, whether it's Facebook or whether it's YouTube. If you just like to sit back and, you know, say nothing, well, you know, then maybe social media is not for you, you know. But that's what social media is for. And we like to create, I like to create content, you know, because I like to, you know, to meet people. I like to talk to people, you know, and I like to get their opinions, and you know, and and all in good terms, you know what I'm saying? You know, so please keep your comments, you know, to a respectful manner. And anyways, I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. This is Charles Richard, and I'll see you on our next video.